Right, so, okay, so we know about phones, you've done them off. You know about standing, if you can stand, up to you, don't need to stand. It's being recorded, so it speaks as clearly as you can. First item is election of town mayor and chair. Any proposers? Councillor Billington.
I'd like to propose Councillor Jeff Hart as the mayor.
For a seconder?
I'll second that.
You second?
Yeah, I second that.
Okay, all those in favour? Against? Any abstentions? Okay, no other proposals? Okay, thanks very much. I've really enjoyed the last 2 years, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one as well. And thanks for all your support. Second is election of deputy town mayor. Any proposals?
I'd like to propose Lauren Hector. I think it's time for a change. I'm happy to set aside for the next year.
Okay, any second? Councillor Sandy? Okay, all those in favour? Anybody against? No abstentions? Okay, unanimous, well done.
Oh, she's abstained.
Thank you, sorry, I was, I had a little thing that I read, in the, like the, informal meeting, but not everyone was there, so I'm just gonna read it again, if that's okay, just so everyone can, get a feel for what I'd like to do.
I wasn't there because you changed the time. When I turned up, you'd all done it and gone.
Oh, could you turn up later?
I came at the specified
Oh,
time,
dear.
7 o'clock.
Right. So I just wanted to say it would be an honour to support the mayor as deputy. On the 2 years sitting on this council, I've taken my role very seriously, understanding where my interests and strengths add value. I have devoted my time to always understanding and reading the agendas, taking time to comment on planning applications, engaging committees and working groups. I've set up a community speed watch group, and from that, the data is now making real world changes. I regularly email the office staff with ideas to push forward onto agendas and keep communications with those around me open. I've taken time to understand the different facets to Wimborne Minster Town Council. I'm organised, driven and honest, always keen to help, learn, support and listen, the traits I think any mayor would look for in a deputy. And when approached about this, I realised that I was the only one thinking I couldn't do this, always being told Lauren's too quiet, always hearing Lauren's too shy or too sensitive, when in fact I am capable, caring and proof that powerful doesn't have to be loud. I'm in tune to support and represent the town's population with my heart-led approach and wish to continue being the voice for others in this supporting role.
So in other words, you think you're pretty good.
We just thank Simon for his service as deputy mayor, because I think he's done a tremendous job.
Yeah.
You'll have to buy a new frock now.
Sorry.
All things that,
She's got the name badge.
saying to me, so it's handling.
Yeah.
Okay, any apologies for absence?
We received apologies for cancelling the training order, business admin was related.
Okay, so two apologies, thank you. You'll propose that we accept those apologies.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councillor Walker. All those in favour?
Is that everyone, sorry?
Is that everyone?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, any declarations of interest?
Tank Crier and the Woodley.
Councillor Barker?
My usual course of council, Chairman.
Councillor Wheeler?
Chairman of the Folk Festival and Town Band Master.
Thank you. Wheeler? Okay. So we did it for this. Okay, item 5 is the appointment of representatives to outside bodies. So you've got a list of those in the papers. I discussed these with the town clerk today. With the Twinning Association, it's like a civic role really, and I do quite a bit with them. So I'm quite happy to become their sort of want to do it. Councillor Burt.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm down when I can find it somewhere to, I think it's the CAB.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for this young gentleman, I wouldn't even know they existed, because they never communicate with me anyway. I presume they've been told that I'm supposed to be one of the representatives. But if there's anybody else who'd like to do it, I would be delighted to step down.
Okay, any volunteers who'd like to be involved in civic advice bureau?
I'm happy to continue.
You continue.
It probably doesn't need two, to be honest.
Thanks very much. Thank you, Councillor. Anybody else, is that a sensible thing for me to come the Ballon link after that? Yeah. Councillor Billington.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I think if there were to be an option for functioning society, then you could be the link to that as well. So, but I don't think that would be onerous, or indeed you'll have any meetings to go to. I think the group is now effectively defunct.
Right. Thank you. Looking at the list, does anybody want to say, I want to change, I want to stop doing that? Enough of that, Councillor Brown?
Lauren and I had that discussion, and could Lauren take on board now?
So I wanted to take on Walk Mill because it's sort of in my patch, which makes sense logistically. Got good connections with them anyway, and I'm keen to sort of help them and Councillor Brown was ready to maybe hand the baton over, so I'd like to give it a try.
Good.
No,
Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Any other changes? All happy?
So can I'll read through it then, and then if someone confirms that. So, Councillor Nash stays on the Allendale Community Centre. Councillor Jacks is our rep with BCP. Citizen Advice is Councillor Sandy. The APTC, we do currently have 3, I'm not sure we need 3, but do you want to carry on with the town mayor, Councillor Bartlett and Councillor Nash?
I'd be happy to come up with that, to be honest with you.
Okay, Councillor Nash, what do you think? Wait, so,
48:30, sir.
We had 3 votes, and a green vote's still continuing, I'm not sure whether Councillor Bartlett, he knows.
We don't, my understanding is they don't require a representative from
Okay,
town
no.
any longer.
Thank you. East Dorset Environment Partnership, Councillor Wheeler. Fair Trade, Councillor Nash. Planet Wimborne, Councillor Ryan. St Margaret's Stone Charity, Councillor Roberts. Yeah. Town here doesn't exist anymore.
Could I just ask on that one, why does it in brackets say cease 2026?
I'm a trustee. It's a trustee issue. I can take that out, it's not relevant to the representative role.
thank you.
Ballons is the town mayor, Oxenford is the town mayor. Vision Wimborne. Councillor Bartlett, you continue on that?
It doesn't continue to exist any longer.
Okay, I'll take that on, thank you. Walford Mill, Councillor Hector. Assume Councillor Morgan will continue with the bid, if I hear otherwise, I'll bring it back. We have Wimborne in Boom, Councillor Roberts. Yep. Councillor Chapelwater for the Folk Festival.
Yeah.
The town mayor, Militia. And Councillor Wheeler and standing for the airport.
Yeah.
Lovely. So just someone can, sorry, I'm doing.
Do we have anybody on the army cadets today? What was that? I'd be happy to.
Is someone happy to propose that the route just for all that amount?
Councillor Williams proposed, Councillor Jakes. A second, so all those in favour?
Thank you.
Committee membership, so if we look at item 6, you've got a list of committees, and some of them have got the right number, some have got too many. So what I would suggest you do individually.
I'm really sorry to interrupt down there. I did update the document because the preferences went on there. So what the document shows on the screen is preferences. I have put 1 to 5, some haven't given 1 to 5. So if we assume that the ones with the highest, as in the ones that are number 1, 2, or 3, or 4, and the ones that are 4 or 5 or 5, you can, if you want, drop off. So
I never volunteered for that, so I don't know, because I don't know nothing about finance and except that I think,
Of course, should we just go through them one by one?
yes,
So finance and governance has 8 members. We've got 7 requests. Why did you say over by 1?
Doesn't include the town man.
Deputy.
in fact, if Councillor Roberts comes off, then we are happy with that. Is
Yeah.
everyone happy with that membership?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Community events and liaison committee has 8 members. We've got 7 requests for over by 1. Anyone want to come off that committee?
Again, so I use the principle of the one with the highest number, and I'm sorry. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
there's 7 on there.
So who's the lowest?
7.
I'm sorry, Councillor Burke.
Well, yeah, I did a little chart myself. And as far as, I haven't got all the Christian names, but Heart Hector 5, well, in the present roles, that's okay. But then I find that Jags, Nash, Roberts and Wheeler all have 5 committees. So it must be, I guess, those. Really, they've gone there 5 times. It's those that you were bringing off now, is it?
Yes, yes. Sorry.
Yes, in their, in terms of preferences, from 1 to 5, 4 or 5 is coming on.
Yeah, sorry if I may. I don't think that's what Councillor Burke's asking. I think he's saying there are some people who are on 5 committees. And it's, of course,
Yes.
so I think I have stuff to do, and maybe it should be done in that rather than the listed preference.
Unfortunately,
No,
not
the
all
preferences do have an effect on it.
but not all councillors said they wanted to go on 1 to 5, they just wanted 1, or they wanted 1 or 2, or they wanted 1 or 2 or 3.
I think that, sorry, Chair, I think a few people didn't respond. This is broken the system slightly.
No, some people did respond and only gave 1 or 2 or 3 preferences.
I was not aware that was a choice.
So with Kelp. Probably does that.
So with Kelp, we have a number that wanted it at the first preference, which is John Billington, Chris Brown and Bill Jaggs. And 3 that wanted it at the second preference, which was Simon, Wheeler, Chris Ryan and Ron Nash. So I took off Anne, who wanted it as a 4th preference. And I don't know how Anne feels about that.
That's yours.
Ambivalent.
Okay, so that's good. On the environment, again, we've got two over. So just tell us what the preferences.
So again, I took the 5th preference off, which was Bill, and then the rest of the preferences 1, 2 or 3. 1, 2, 3, 5. So we're still 1 over. So we have 2 that are 3rd preference.
Which bill do you mean?
Bill Drag.
Bill, yes.
And I'm happy to come.
Lovely, thank you.
Councillor Nash.
Yeah, I'd really like to come up with at least another 2 of these committees that can't commit to 5 in the year. I just can't do it. I had to put a list of preferences in 1 to 5 and I understand that, but this is not feasible.
So you're coming off this one.
If I can, yeah, that'd be great.
That gives us the right number, doesn't it?
Everyone happy? The rec and leisure worked out beautifully. And then the HR, which is a smaller number of members, it's only 5. So with the town and deputy town mayor, that only leaves 3 places. So I took off 5 and 4. Councillor Jaggs and Councillor Wheeler.
Councillor Nash.
I think Councillor Nash might want to come in.
Yes, I'd be very happy to jump out of that committee. I found it's not actually to my strengths. I find that people that have been on it for the past year have been fantastic and I've been a bit of a third wheel. So if it.
So we still need, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we still need, yeah, and Rod, that leaves Councillor Richmond, Councillor, we've still got 1, we still want too many. I need 3 on it.
So we've got Will Chuckleworker, Chris Ryan, and then 1 more. Yeah, all right.
So Anne's asked, so we've got Anne, we've got Phil Richmond, we've got Chris Ryan, and we've got Will Chuckleworker.
Leave 1 more.
So need someone else to come up with things.
Did someone to come off?
Yeah.
Well, is anybody their 5th or 4th or 3rd preference?
There's 2 3s. There's 2 3s. Phil Richmond and Anne Roberts.
Well, then, if there's no other way, we'll have to vote. Mr. Mayor, those in favour of 1 and those in favour of the other one. The committee, the council will have to make the decision which one it is, if we don't have a volunteer to come off.
Technically, there is, yes, that's completely right. So do we have a volunteer?
Chairman, we're a non-political council, there's no political proportionality, and you could accept that the committee is one over to so wish.
Whatever. That's true.
We'd have to change that terms of reference, that's being delegation.
Is that difficult to do?
No.
That means we can adopt it tonight. And the HR committee is usually a smaller number, quite a specialist committee to be on.
Any thoughts?
I could come on twice if you like.
Not helpful, Councillor.
So who were the 2 3rd preferences again?
Councillor Roberts and Councillor Richmond.
Sorry?
Councillor Roberts and Councillor Richmond. We're going to decide whether we want to take Councillor Bartlett's idea that we can get these things outstanding orders to make that committee slightly bigger, or we take a vote. Councillor Bartlett.
You can approve all the rest of it and defer the decision on this committee tonight, later today, when you change the spelling.
If we're not, I don't know, do you mean to, so we're deferring basically?
Just the one committee, you can still approve all the others and defer this one till you change
Yeah.
the spelling, then bring it back.
Councillor Jaggs.
Yeah, my only concern with deferring approving committee is what happens in the meantime, because there's a lot of change coming up in the next few
There's a
months.
lot of work they're doing at the moment.
So if we can, could we approve something tonight, but come back to it at the next available opportunity to increase the numbers?
Through you, Chairman, I don't see that there's that much of a worry until the next one, council, when you can approve it.
Yeah. Councillor White.
Yeah, sorry, I asked the question. The town clerk tell me how many committees Anne Roberts is on and how many committees Bill Richmond are on.
So let's have a look. So I'm on planning and environment and rec and leisure. Bill is on planning environment and rec and leisure.
So they're both on 2 committees, and that's all.
Yeah.
I was hoping one was on.
Councillor Chuckleworth.
I think I won't have to defer.
We could arm wrestle.
Sorry, councillor Chairman.
I worry about deferment because the old committee no longer exists, the new one is not in place, and there are decisions that need to be made, so I think we need to make a decision today. So I think your voting idea makes sense to me. Let's put it to a vote, we make a decision today, done and dusted. Yes, I'm proposing.
Yes, okay.
I'm proposing that we take, councillor Bett's idea, we put it to a vote, we make a decision today. No need to change standing orders, we stick as they are.
Okay. Your second, okay. Councillor Senna?
I would find it quite hard to vote on that because I don't really have any idea of why Anne would want to be on it and why Bill would be on it. Possibly maybe they could tell us.
Councillor.
So we've had a proposal seconded and haven't had a vote. So that's just a process, just to flag the process. And it might be useful to make a decision whether you want to put them on the spot, which I'm not sure is fair, because we haven't had time to prepare for it. And I think it's up to both councillors if they were happy to do that or not.
Councillor Richard.
If it's so important to resolve the issue, I'll withdraw.
Councillor Wallace.
I will.
Sorry.
Matter resolved.
Okay. Oh, not to vote.
So no, we don't.
Matters resolved.
Okay. Let's move on. Item 7 is the town mayors and council allowances from the 1st of April to 31st of March. We review and approve the town mayor's allowance of £2,200 and non-payment of council allowance from April to March. Do you want to comment on that or oppose that?
So I'm looking for a proposer, and it just as it says that we've approved that the town has allowance of issue of 2,000 and councillors do not receive an allowance for this financial year.
I'm happy to propose that.
Okay, first by councillor Wheeler, seconded by councillor Lynch, all those in favour? Against? Against, any abstentions? Okay. Item 8, general power of competence in section 137 local government 1972. So to confirm the town council meets the eligibility criteria of parish councils, order 2012. So what about this?
So basically, we don't even have to do a proposal second, it's just for noting that we're keeping our general power and competence for the next fiscal year because 2/3 are elected and the clerk has the relevant qualifications.
Okay. Item 9, governance review. To review and adopt the following policy relevant to full council. I won't read them all out, you've got enough to review. So I think we can use them for John Watt, unless people have got any comments.
Can I request that we defer the disciplinary policy and the grievance policy because there's an ongoing discussion with our HR support, South West councils. So I'm asking to defer those two at the moment.
Okay. Need to vote on that.
No, everyone's happy.
So it's all, I'll propose that we accept all those documents. We want to second. Councillor Benson, all those in favour?
Subject to those two being.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Anybody against? Any abstentions? 2 abstentions. Thank you. Calendar of meetings, this is item 10, from June to May. We've had lists of council meetings, no meetings in August, minimum in December. Everyone propose that. Councillor Benson. Seconded by councillor Jacks, all those in favour, dates? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Good. Inventory land and assets, review of inventory of land and other assets, including buildings and office equipment, appendix 4.
So it's an updated one from last year in that, I'll pull it up so I know what I'm talking about. We've added, I've just changed the layout slightly and added a bit more detail. Some of the gazebo wasn't on there last year, so it's just to note that these continue to be our land and buildings for our annual meeting.
Okay. Anyone propose it?
Can I just ask a question, Chairman? I know we've got the town hall, the Drapery Gardens, the gazebo, the groundsman's house. What happens about the cemetery chapel and it's not actually put down as freehold or anything?
So it's shown as land and permanent buildings, including the chapels, the lodge and the toilets.
Yeah.
So it's on there.
Yeah, it's on there, but it
Yeah.
doesn't say whether it's freehold or leasehold or.
But we own
I
it.
know it, we own it.
We own it, and we don't need, well, one of them is rented out, but yes, we own it. It's a freehold. It's a freehold.
Right, shouldn't be.
Okay, any other comments? Okay,
So can I just ask one?
yes,
The benches around town, I don't know, didn't we own the benches around town?
But that's not part, these are land and buildings,
Okay.
so benches will come with assets, and we don't.
All right, so we can't do that.
Well, we could do if we wanted, but the different contract.
okay, I'm going to propose that we accept the list. Anybody want to second that? Happy Wheeler, all those in favour? Any against? Any abstentions? Insurance. Confirmation is arrangement for insurance cover in respect of all insurable risks. Anything changed?
So we have changed our contractor. So the finance and government went through a very robust contract process of tendering out to see, because we reached the end of our 3 years with our previous contractor, who was Gallagher. And as a result of that contract process, we decided to go with Zurich. We have got better conditions, I feel, and it's a really robust insurance schedule.
Any questions?
Yeah. Has it been checked by anybody else? You know,
Zurich have our local government insurance.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they do a lot of town questions.
Thanks.
Okay, anyone oppose that? Councillor Nash. Seconded by Councillor Hector. All in favour of the insurance arrangements? Anybody against? The abstentions? Subscriptions to review the council's staff subscriptions outside bodies. And it's 5. Any comment?
So this is a bit of a backwards item really, because they've already gone into the budget. So if there's any disagreement about them, we can pull them, but it's the same list as last year, basically. Do you want me to pull it up? Would that help?
Oh, it's on the agenda.
Item 13 is listed.
Ah, sorry, thank you so much. Yeah, so let me pull it up. Hello. Sorry, where are we? Yes, item 13 subscription, they're all listed on there. I haven't put the cost because it went through the budget process and we knew what the cost was at the time, but those are who we subscribe to on an annual basis.
Thank you, Chairman. If these are accepted tonight, I'm quite happy to propose that we accept the subscriptions list that's before us. But what we do, I'm just going to make good transparency clear that I am a member of the RPL, non-pecuniary interest.
Okay, yeah, Councillor Roberts.
Same here, Chairman, but I don't understand the Oxenford twinning as we're in a very difficult situation with that anyway. We don't need any funding at the moment because we're basically stagnated because of time, age and cost.
Very far, very long way to go. Okay, so do you propose, Councillor Roberts?
Can I just add to what Councillor Roberts said? I would suggest that we do continue to focus on way. We've seen a massive expansion within the town. I think the town council could be in a position to get communication, particularly for the new areas to be developed in the town. See if we can increase the membership of the Oxford Running Association. I know I'm extremely worried about Councillor Robertson has been for some time, but I think it would be a tragedy to lose one of our training associations. But Councillor Robertson can bring them.
Okay,
I completely agree with that, Chairman. It's just the fact that it's such a historical twinning way back in 1300. But as I said, none of the schools teach during the day. I think Canford might, they did, but I don't know if they still do. So we don't get the exchange students, you know, we're in a class stick basically.
okay.
Just for history, because I think a lot of people probably don't know, this was established by, Mr. Ryan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was actually not the chaplain, the rector, whatever you call them, at the Catholic Church.
Yeah, and it was, Mr. Ryan fought in the Second World War, RAF, he'd been very active over Germany and stuff, and he was very inspired to bring peace. And I thought it was I've always thought it was a great idea. And in the early days, it worked really well, didn't it? And it was bringing people together, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I mean, it was, to echo that, it was very successful.
Yeah.
The mayor was always over, came to my dad's funeral as well. He was always, and it was a really successful group of people, actually, and achieved great things. But the problem is, as you say, there's no one who really wants to take it on. But it would be a shame to lose that possibility.
I would second all that, but also the other thing I think that's quite interesting is that it actually explains the role of Wimborne Minster as a building. It wasn't always just church, because originally it was St. Peter's down in the square, that was the parish church. The Minster actually had an ecclesiastical governmental function, which is where the missionaries were sent out to Oxford, and hence the connection, which I think is interesting historic.
So we're on item 13, subscriptions. And both but I'll second that. We'll vote on that. Okay, anybody against or abstaining? Bank signatories, to confirm the town council bank signatories, which are all councillors, from financial regulations, and no change from last year.
So they continue as they were last year.
Any comments?
On item 13,
Right,
I don't believe on the bank signatory.
that'd be correct. If it's
we don't believe that, actually.
I think you're on the next one, I can double check that.
Councillor Burt.
Oh, it's just that item 13 on the second line, it talks about the 2026 budget, and I take it to be the 26-27 budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already been done, yes.
Okay. So bank signatories. Town clerk's going to check councillor Barton's comment, but otherwise, we're all content.
No, come on. Basically, because I've never done it, I don't particularly want to do it. And you know how computer literate I am. I would probably transfer all our funds somewhere.
As far as I know.
It's possible.
It is possible to come on, could you, no, okay. Yeah, I was I need to check whether I don't think it checks out, because the Unity Bank is our current bank account where we do most of our payments. I don't think it will impact the numbers we need to do that, but I need to double check that, but it's in the minutes.
Councillor Wheeler.
If Councillor Roberts wants to come up, I'm happy to do a double month, a double shift if it helps.
That's a right volunteer. Good. Okay,
I think if there's going to be a change, we need to propose a second minute.
okay, I'll propose it. Seconded by Councillor Billington. All those in favour? Anybody against or anybody against? Point seven. Okay, item 15, year-end accounts. April 2025 and March 2026, and your governance statement. Promoting end of your accounts. Councillor Nash, do you want to comment on this?
No. Pretty straightforward there at the end of your account, and we have looked at them with considerable detail, points of evidence, and found them to be not wanting at all.
You want to propose to accept them?
I would love to propose part one of this, yeah.
And second, Mr. Councillor, Jax, what's in favour? Anybody against? One? Any abstentions?
Sorry,
Councillor Roberts, go
just
ahead.
because I didn't get a chance to say what I wanted. Given I haven't spoken.
Don't say it now.
Well, I'm just absolutely appalled at the amount of money, of taxpayers' money we're spending on staff. It seems that we're spending more on staff than we are on the people of this town. I know there's a lot of work to do because of the town of culture and everything else, but I think that we really do need to look at it, to be quite honest.
Okay. Councillor Burt?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I've been dabbling in local government, I think for between 50 and 60 years. And I've yet to find anything more expensive than the staff. All the local authorities I've been involved with, most of the budget is taken up by the cost of the staff. And I don't find that unusual.
Okay. We'll go from this.
So that's the, part one. So bear with me a minute, I just want to check the agenda. Yes, so we're on to part two.
So to note the annual internal report and approve the annual governance statement and accounting statement, conflict of assessment assertion, and date for period of public rights.
So the internal auditor's report is up there, sorry, Councillor Nash.
There's one item on this where we do not meet muster of the internal auditor. It's an incredibly rare occurrence in my experience, and it seems to be an oversight in sending. What was it? Item number? Was it the
risk management?
The risk management. Sorry, it's a bit later. Should have come through full council and didn't. It only made it through finance and governance. It's an oversight and it's coming to us. But I can assure anyone who's worried that the way that we manage risk at the moment is incredibly robust and has become much better in the past 2 years. Use the efforts of the finance officer and the department, which is good news.
And you corrected that.
Well, I haven't corrected it last year, but I will. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we should take vote on that. Yeah. I think I'll propose that again to Councillor Nash.
Sorry, we need to vote on that.
So we can show it noted, but I would like us to, I'd like to comment in the minutes that the statement that you made that we have a robust system in place, so we've ministered it.
If you'd like to work that as a proposal, I'd agree.
So the proposal could be that we note the IA report and record the robust system the finance government committee have had in place to review the risk management process, which was delivered later to the council.
Yeah.
Can you second on that?
I'm proposing that.
You're proposing that? Yeah. Okay. Anyone to second? Councillor Bennington, all in favour? Anybody against or abstaining? One abstention? Okay, so on number 15.2, there are other things we should vote on. Clark, is that right?
Yeah, so I'm just putting them up now. So the internal audit report, this is his section that he fills in for our external audit process. He has to take a note to item 3, which is what we've just discussed. And we're not covered by item K. So he signed that, so that's fine. So in terms of other council, we need to sign off tonight the internal control objectives A through to Oh, because P doesn't apply to us, we're not a charitable trust. I'm not going to read them out, everyone can read them. And I'm hoping that we answer yes to them all, but take your time and have a look through, and if anyone has a question, please raise them.
Okay.
I can.
Okay, councillor Nash, you propose? Yeah, a seconder. Councillor Hector. All those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? One.
Thank you. So I will fill that in on behalf of the council and myself and the chair sign the appropriate place with.
Yeah.
And then again, we have a section that we need to propose a second tonight, which is points 1 to 10, excluding number 9, in terms of our annual governance statement. So again, we are answering yes to them all except number 9, which is not applicable. But again, I'd ask you to take your time to read them all and check that you're happy with the yes assertions.
Which is appendix 7. Is it?
Appendix 7.
6.
6.
Oh,
Any comment? Councillor Nash.
You propose again if everyone's had enough time.
Proposing, I'll second, all those in favour? Any against? Bailey. 1, 2.
This is with And again, we at the end of the meeting will sign and sign off. And then these are the figures that were generated through the year-round account process that have been checked by the internal auditor and a finance manager and the account software for the end of year process. So those figures are spot on. And just to propose a sector that I can submit to section 2 and that we're happy with those figures.
Okay. Section 2. Okay, I'll propose to accept those. Second. All those in favour? Any against? Any abstentions? Just one. That's Robert, did you vote?
Yes,
4.
yes.
Yeah, sorry, this is. Okay.
So section 3 is what the external auditor BDO will complete when they return our audits. So we should get that by the end of August, beginning of September, or maybe end of September, depending on back data being held with all their parish and town councils. What I'm looking for now is a proposal seconded that we do not have a conflict of interest with the BDO, which is the same process we went through last year.
Those from councillor Nash. I'll second. All those in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? 3. 3, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then the last item is that we have to transparently publish our accounts at the end of this process, and it's within statutory timelines. And we're proposing that we start publishing on the 3rd of June and until the 14th of July. So I just need a proposal and second for that.
Further, councillor Nash, second, going for and Wheeler, those in favour? Against? The abstentions? Okay, on to item 16.
Oh, sorry, I just checked. I think there's one item right at the end of this item, about the reserves.
All right, hold on. So no general reserves and earmark reserves are the 31st of March 2026. And the reserve being funded in 2027.
I'll just pull that up for everybody. Do you want me to lead or you want me to lead?
I'm very much like you to.
So number one, our reserves as of the 30th of March were £425,811. We have a reserves policy that says that we should hold at least 6 months of the current reset, which equates to 396,547. So we are over our 6 months recommended reserves level. We have a number of earmark reserves, which are shown on that image up there, which got agreed many years ago through the Economic Committee. And they are specifically ring-fenced for specific projects or holes of funding that might come up in the future. There was a number of underspends for the 25-26 budgets, which I've gone through with the finance manager. And I'm requesting that the underspends from that budget are put into either earmark reserves or towards the town and country project. So I've listed them from 3.1 to 3.10. Do you want me to talk through them?
Can I just, question, this would normally be, these non-spent funds from those budgets would normally go back into general reserves, yeah?
Yeah, that is
So
completely right.
this is why it's being asked of us whether or not we're okay with this, is because normally it would just go back into general reserves. I think what the finance manager and the department director has put them into distinct pots, where they basically have come from to go back into that to try and keep those things afloat a bit better.
Thank you.
So we have an earmark reserve for to cover information technology and office equipment, and currently it stands with the balance of £11,277.08. I'm requesting that the underspend of 2,500 from last year's budget is put into that, and that's because we probably will have to update a load of laptops at some point. We have 16 council laptops. Some people don't use their own, but we do have, and we have staff laptops as well. And they usually last on average 3 to 5 years if we're lucky. There's also office equipment, furniture, we've got growing staff numbers, so that was the rationale behind that one. What does everyone say?
Councillor Jacks.
No.
Yeah, I think it's sensible. It should be reserved, and I do think we are going to need some new tech. We've got a few more staff, so think about the right thing to do.
So the second one is the underspend for CCTV maintenance. We have a CCTV earmark reserve, currently sits at 17,511. I'm asking for the underspend to go into that earmark reserve. It's based on the same argument. CCTV we inherited. We've had some new cameras recently. There are some old cameras. They're not cheap. Let's give it a bit more money just to make sure we cover that area.
Okay, everyone happy with that? Yeah. All right.
So the civic service was an underspend of 1,443. We have a regalia earmark reserve that currently stands at £300. At some point, there might be an appetite, I don't want to put ideas in everybody's head, there might be an appetite to start a new mayoral chain. Because that has been voiced by previous town mayors in the last couple of years. So I was looking just to put some more money in that small earmark reserve pot.
over and above the £300.
Yeah,
So how much more do you want?
it is, 1,443.
What do you mean by it's not a new chain?
So we buy a new chain. There's a lot of
They
things,
keep the existing.
keep the one,
And have
and
done all the harm.
no, we start a new one. Because the current chain has a lot on it. It's very full, and when a new town mayor, when we describe a link for it, we have to take another one off.
Right.
A new chain would start again, and a lot of them are blank, except for the first one, which would be the current town mayor, and we'd start again and probably display the old one.
The old one will be put in a cabinet and
Yeah.
displayed on the wall.
Yeah, that's
Right, councillor Jones.
Do we have any indication of the likely cost for that?
not yet, no. No.
So this is just. Starting to.
Oh, it'll be a few thousand.
Councillor Nash.
Thank you. Just to clarify this as well, this isn't permitting the spend, this is putting it into a fund where we could then miss the spend. This would come back to us and there would be decision plans. It's just to put a pot of money in a place that's there if we decide to use it. We're not saying now we're going to use it.
Bartley.
And so we talked some time ago about, a cabinet in the town hall where links, the lozenges would be, that would take up the chain would be displayed in there. Because the mayoral chains were at one point unique within the chain gang, they show the history of the town, so do go back quite a long way. I would oppose changing that mayoral chain. I think the way that it works, taking lozenges off the extreme elderly day to make room for the new lozenges. I think it's right that the going cabinet needs to be here. I would object to a new chain being created. I can't stress enough that when you are on the chain gang, that chain is pretty unique. A lot of the chains that are worn by mayors are very modern, they're not engraved, and quite honestly, Gregory, who has been a mayor here, you'll be aware that you sit in a church service, wherever that may be, whether it's a carol service or whatever it is, and you can hear the people behind you reading off the dates and the names of the chain. It is really unique, and I think it would be sad to see that lost. So I wouldn't support that as a no.
It's nice to hear that it's nice to see impacted by the subject, but again, this is about putting money in a place rather than the thing we're going to do with it.
Yeah, so the money,
I'm pretty sure each of these topics we could debate for the next half an hour, and I really want to get on screen.
I think, as I said, we should be
So
done.
we're creating an earmarked fund.
So,
We're not actually going to buy it, that'll be discussed later.
just as the councillor Bartlett.
Thank you. I take on board what Councillor Nash has said. The point I'm making is that there was discussion within this town council many years ago about getting cabinet for those lodges put in. My point is because of the historic value and cultural value of that mayoral chain, we shouldn't be seen to be doing a new one, in my opinion. I appreciate it's not debate tonight, but I'm laying down markers of where I think the course of action should be in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Burt, what did you say? What did you say, councillor Burt?
I have a job to hear what's going on, so I don't have any comment apart from the fact that we're not buying it tonight. We're just setting up an earmarked reserve fund.
Okay.
And I don't want to get into a discussion about the practicalities about that will be done at some time in the future.
Thank you. Councillor Willis.
I completely agree with what Councillor Bartlett has said, but I think we may have to sort of look at it diplomatically and take off possibly a few more of the links of a bygone era sort of thing, so they go in a cabinet. I know when I wore that chain, I was immensely proud to wear it, however heavy it may be. And I think that it is a credit to the town.
To kind of clarify from full council whether the agreement that we move the money into the earmark reserve or you don't want to, or it goes into general reserve.
Councillor Wheeler.
I'm quite happy to move the money, as Councillor Burt said. We'll talk about whether we're going to do anything with the chain and what we're going to do with the chain as and when we get to doing something with the chain. But I'm in favour of putting some money aside, and whether we use that for a cabinet to display lozenges or replacing chains, we can debate a future date, but let's just put the money where it needs to be. Okay.
That, is it that I just need to check the majority of you, because I'm going to do this as a one proposal if we're happy.
Just raise your hand if you're happy with that suggestion. Yeah, we're all happy.
And then I'm on to the temporary staff cover. So it was an underspend of £7,821. We have a staffing reserve and it currently sits at 3,500. We are now in a current situation where I'm going to have to use that earmark reserve because we have probably a long-term temporary staffing matter to cover. And I'm asking full council to put that money into that earmark reserve to cover contingency for this year.
Sense of what's money? Yeah. Okay, the next one.
The cemetery has underspends across three areas. £4,800, 2,817 and 1,400. I'm asking for those three underspends to go into the specific cemetery earmark reserve.
I quite agree with that, Chairman. It's got, we've got to, we could have major problems turning up there, so I do think that it needs to go into a separate fund.
Do we not have a, future expense for the railings? Railings? I think they're quite expensive.
But so that, when that's ready, that will come to council. Some of it will be forecast in the budget, and if there's a requirement to use the earmark reserves, we could use it for that.
As we've highlighted on the number of the floors of the cemetery with the staff, there is a lot of items there that are about to fail, as we said, and the toilet block is, I think, not it, but the one range. And that's going to be a major expense, so can we plan and budget that ahead?
Mm-hmm. So we're not going to discuss that now, are we?
No.
No.
Okay. And
Yeah, so the next set, so the youth service underspend 5,000, community grants of 5,840, the professional fees of 3,830, and the community events is 3,974. I'm asking for council to consider whether I can put all those monies into the current town and culture budget. And that is to support some more youth activities, more micro commissions, contracted roles. And I know that's quite a difficult one.
what's the total?
That's a good question. I've got my phone. Sorry.
It's about 18K.
18K.
Yeah.
Okay, any comments? Councillor Nash.
Yeah, I might not be very popular on this one. This is going from what would be taken into general reserves, not into earmark, but going to separate projects that we had costed and funded. So I'm not 100% on board with this. It's 20K. I mean, it would be churlish at this point not to spend on town culture. But it is £20,000 that we didn't budget for it initially. So I think it's a chunk of money, you know? So I'm not.
Any other comments?
Chairman? Yeah, I mean, I went to a town culture steering group meeting last week. And it was really pleasing to see a lot of the things that are starting to roll out more fully. It has been a bit of a slow start from my point of view, but that's partly because of the way things have gone with the appointment of the project officer. So in terms of some of the things we're trying to do as a council for young people, so like the youth up and the uplift project, in terms of the micro commissions, so the 17 micro commissions have been awarded that we discussed at the meeting as well. That's all good work in the community. And I think it's reaching out to people we should be caring about, it's reaching out to young people. So I do understand some concern, but also I also think that these are good areas to be investing in if we can, particularly before youth service comes into full swing.
Yeah, thank you. Councillor Barton.
Thank you, Kevin. I just want to get an understanding around the 5,000 from youth service development. Including the 8,000 in Wimborne Shop, school park somewhere in the town council account, that, the hope was always going to be that would be used for the youth project. That doesn't include any part of that.
It doesn't.
Have we got enough money to carry on with the current plan, town culture events, or are we really needing some extra money to load on the rest of the events?
So we have been successful in 2 external funding routes, which will help support some of the project. But I think we were all surprised by the amount of micro commission applications and the success of the uplift at the start of the year. And I would like the project to have more a second opportunity for micro commissions later on in the year to deliver more, and potentially more youth activities as well. So so if there's an agreement, I will make sure they're ring fenced for specifically those 2 areas, and they won't be consumed by anything else.
The micro commissions are where people can apply for a small grant to do something new. With 37 applications, it's only 17 successful.
Yeah.
But I think we told them that there would be a second round.
No, we hope so, we hope.
Okay.
Thank you. Just a question. Does the town of culture have other sources of funding other than ourselves? Are they getting other grants from
Yeah.
elsewhere?
Yes, the Arts Council, all the Village Trust, school.
Yeah.
Also Council.
Heritage, National Muslim Heritage Trust. But we have applied for some which we have been unsuccessful. And we have secured 2 prominent business partners that have put in £20,000 between them as well.
And that's taken into account with this, since that's
Yes,
reserving funds aside,
yes.
not using them.
That they're taking into account. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Then we want to make a proposal. Councillor Jones.
For those ones to do with town and culture that we do as requested.
Okay. Well, second one. Councillor Wine, all in favour. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All against. 1, 2. Abstentions. 2.
And in terms of the others, so numbers 1 to 6, if I can have a proposal for those as well, please.
Councillor Nash,
I'll second.
and seconded by Councillor Chukwuemeka. In favour? Nobody against? Not against? The abstentions?
Thank you. Yeah, that's that one. Thank you very much.
Okay, item 16, review of council strategic and annual action plans. So, town clerk, can you go on this?
So we have a 5-year strategic plan, and this will take us to year 3 actually. And a colleague will be bringing back a spreadsheet that shows where we are with the strategic plan. It's not quite ready yet, but it's a work in progress. So we will be coming back to the committees and full council to check where we are. And it'll have a rank status, whether it's completed, we're nearly there, or how long the timeline is for it. We have an annual action plan. So what I've done is I've merged last year and changed some of the wording that shows in red to what it could look like for this year. If we go through each one, we have delivered 1.1, the housing needs assessment is there, so we can delete that one. The action plan is ongoing, it's under part of the Labour Plan steering group work, so I'd suggest that we continue that. The notice replacement programme for notice boards, that's been completed, so we can delete that. The Tourist Information Service, SLA, is an ongoing project, so I'd ask that we continue with that one. The Climate Action Plan, again, is an ongoing project, and I'll ask that we continue that one. The biodiversity statement, and the work to, deliver biodiversity management plans, again, it's an ongoing project, so I'd ask that we continue that. Community resilience in terms of, the youth service is ongoing, we're just not there yet, so I'd ask us to continue, but we have delivered the upgrades to the CCTV, so we have delivered part of it. So I'll amend that to show that. The review under recognition to look at promote access and wellbeing, that again, that's an ongoing project, so I'll ask them to continue that. We have in the annual events, how we function, and again, I've asked to continue the work we're doing on that. And the local democracy, we have delivered what we said we'd do, so I've asked to delete that one. And I've created a new one to deliver councillor and staff training. That was based on a communication email correspondence that I received from some councillors. So that's a new one. The governance review and forward budget plan, we've delivered the budget plan, so we can delete that. But some of the governance is still not there yet, so I'll ask them to continue that one. I don't know, and I'm open to anybody can have any ideas about putting anything new in, but that's how it looks at the moment.
That's what's happening.
This may not be the right point, and I do apologise for it, but the rubbish bins, particularly in the recreation ground and in the centre of town, are just not sufficient to hold all the rubbish, and it looks dreadful. It's going to be even worse than the folk festival. Nothing we can do about it.
No, I don't think so. It's not our responsibility.
I don't think we should discuss it now, it's not on the agenda, but why don't we take it to recognition?
Talk to you about after.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion. I'm sorry, I don't, you know.
It's ongoing.
Just like to say that I really like the format of this. It made it very easily readable. You can see what's happened, you can see what's changed and what's ongoing. Would be good if we could do that with a few more actions. I think we're planning to do that in the next year. That'd be great. Let me know where we are.
So do you want to propose to accept this?
I'd love to propose to accept this, yes.
Seconded by councillor Wheeler, all in favour? Any abstentions? One. Okay.
Thank you.
Then public participation, then 8 is correspondence, so I think in the pack, or a letter, that was sent an email, and another letter since.
We have. So everyone, that's the first set we've had, it's about the same item, it's about the Pride event. And can I bring up I received it today, so I shall bring it up. It's about the same.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether things have changed, whether we're now talking about this last item.
There's that letter, and the clerk's going to read a second letter, which is received. Okay?
A second letter that we've received.
Yes.
Yes, about the same event.
Because when I read this, I thought to myself, well, it isn't the town council that's running the folk festival, is it? There's a folk festival committee with the responsibility to do that. And when we got into this block, I don't think it's our job. It's their job.
Okay.
The committee who's running the event.
Yeah.
But maybe this is changed from something you're now going to tell us.
No, it's not changed.
It's not changed, but the person that is running the event did put in a micro permission application to support the event within the folk festival, and it got supported and agreed. So it is supported by the town culture, by definition, the town council.
So we're just, at the side supporting. We're not running the thing anyway. And has this letter been referred to the committee that where they can sort out boys from girls and
Just hear
That's
the
right.
second letter.
I'll just read out the second letter. Is that all right? I'm sorry to have to write this very busy time of year, but I've only just been made aware of the situation which I set up below. I understand there's recently been an application by Wimborne Pride to the town culture organiser to have an event. I'm not entirely sure whether permission has been granted and or the nature of the event. As I understand it, there's no such official group as Wimborne Pride. My understanding from public consultation meetings held on the 20th of May is that effectively Wimborne Pride is the vision of Phil Webb, a former mayor and president of Minster, which at the moment has no formal administration or other official presence. I believe planning meeting for such an organisation has been arranged for next month with some support, including support from outside the area arriving from the meeting. I wish to indicate my concern, which I expressed fully at the meeting, that I do not believe that it is appropriate for a particular or any sexual orientation, gender view, heterosexual or otherwise, to be given a presence at the town council, because I do not believe that it is consistent with what the generic goals of and the objectives of the town and culture year are. This is particularly so, but not exclusively, as some of the views of the LGBTQ plus A plus are highly controversial. I've read the details of the events which have currently been organised by the Town of Culture, and I can find on the website.
Reviews.
And I've read the criteria for permission to be granted for events. I'm not sure that an event of a particular or any sexual orientation, gender view is consistent with the aims of Town Culture. I do not believe that the views expressed above are discriminatory, because I would say exactly the same whatever group made the same application. The only motivation in writing this here was to try and avoid the nature, character and focus of the Town of Culture being changed to its detriment and to the detriment of Wimborne generally. Thank you for taking the time to read this email, which is appreciated, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you. Councillor Richard.
Yeah, traditionally, I think the folk festival has been a celebration of folk, folk music, folk dancing. The fact that we have a town of culture event on at the same time is confusing issues. I think we've embraced the folk festival as being an event within the town of culture, but that doesn't mean to say that everything should be thrown out and it should no longer be a focus on folk music. So I think the issue would have been resolved by the Folk Festival Management Committee. Other issues of what is contained within the Town of Culture events is a separate issue, but I don't regard this as being something that we should be considering. It should be considered by the Folk Festival Committee as whether or not it's relevant to folk.
Councillor Chakrawatta.
One of the things that people often get confused about is the issue of sexuality and involvement promoting some type of sexuality. This isn't about promoting sexuality at any particular time. It's about supporting people, and we have a lot of new residents in this town who are openly gay. And I think we're welcoming them. That's what this was all about. It was about welcoming new people. You are all welcome here, no matter what your sexual orientation is. Because frankly, it's none of our bloody business.
Councillor Chakrawatta.
I agree. I think Wimborne has got new people, like people like myself, want to feel included. So I think it's about inclusion. They have more people, whether they live in Paxton, London, coming for the folk festival relations. Feel welcome. We had a discussion here regarding what's happening next door. We made a decision that people should be free to communicate as they wish. I think it will be exactly the same thing here. Whoever wrote that, they are entitled to that view, but I think as a town or as a folk festival, we're inclusive, welcome everyone when we're a broad church.
Thank you. Councillor Bartlett.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I agree completely with the previous speakers. I
I think it's something that we should accommodate. I think it is a decision for the Folk Festival Committee themselves, but I think that we live in a country now where there's freedom of speech. I think we are inclusive of people, and quite honestly, and I've read the two letters, children are a lot more savvy these days, certainly from when I was a child. And I know talking to both my daughters, when they're from a very young age, they were very savvy. They knew what was wrong. And that's my daughter, because in the early years learning, is very well read on music. So I really don't think it's a decision for us. I think the decision holds with the Folk Festival, and I would hope that the Folk Festival will be inclusive. And thanks very much. I said it's not about sexual orientation. It's about welcoming and accommodating those people, the different adults and everything. And I think it makes for a much richer society.
Thank you. Councillor Nash, I'll go to Councillor.
Can I just get some clarification, I'm not that interested, or is this a standard employed event, or is this a part of the parade and the festival?
Councillor Wheeler.
Okay, so we got approached by Phil, Councillor Brown put him in touch with me, and he asked if he could be involved in some way. I suggested, as we have marching bands, we have Googie, we have dancers in the parade. I suggested that if he wanted to do something with about 20 people, the parade was the ideal point, and I actually think it'll enrich the parade and put us on the map. I'm staggered, frankly, at the tone of some of the emails that I've read. Disappointed, I guess. So as far as the Folk Festival Committee is concerned, it's not a pride event. It's the parade of which we have a participant that wishes to take part and celebrate in their own way. And that is perfectly okay, as anybody could. So that's our position. So if that helps, I hope it does.
So I'll go to Councillor Sandy, and then I'll just.
So just to clarify, what I'm understanding this is that the parade is, though it's to take part during the folk festival, it's not really a folk festival event, is it?
Yes, because it's run by us.
Well, gays, sexuality has nothing to do with folk. It's not.
But neither's marching.
Sorry? Well, that's why I make the point that's why I make the point that the parade is discrete really from the folk festival. And I think if it's treated that way, I wouldn't have an objection to it, because it doesn't derogate away from the idea of folk festival about folk music.
Okay, let's get to Councillor Nash.
So can I propose that we as a town council write to the individuals who have raised concerns, stating that it is part of a parade and there are other cultures and organisations included in that parade, and Wimborne Minster Town Council supports all of our parishioners who take pride in their culture. I think that's it, and then point them towards the Folk Festival Committee if they want to make further comment, and then so on.
Yeah, but there's 2 points here. The town culture proposal, the second letter seems to be specifically aimed at the town culture. I'll deal with the parade, and to your point, there is a folk festival, and we have made more of folk in the town square. But in order for this to stand up as a festival, we have to have, we've given over town culture elements to Willow Walk. We have a microbrewery. It's not necessarily folk, but it's a microbrewery because we need to make the money to run the event. So there's a number of things around that are also supporting that folk celebration that will be in the centre of town and in the corn market. And the Allendale Centre. So we need the other bits. The parade is almost like taking bits of the dancers from the folk, marching band. It is basically a conglomeration of all. So it is a celebration of everything.
Yeah.
But it is run by the folk festival. But it is a parade. So if that helps in any way, I think alleviate what you're saying. Okay,
well, I think it puts it in a different context.
Sorry, Councillor Sandy.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Before I second the focus on the table, being one of the original members that saved the Folk Festival back in 2012, when we started a flagship paper about Nothing in the Bank, the Folk Festival has always accommodated minority groups. So I remember back then, it would have been over time with the Romania Yeah, it's independent. We welcome both Romanian bunch troops and Cossack bunch troops and member reduction. I think my knees still suffering now. We also have regularly accommodated a big Polish contingent within that. There've been belly dancers. There's nothing new to having these minority groups within the Folk Festival. And I am disappointed with the reaction that it's got. As I said, I don't think it's going to have an adverse effect on our children. Children are a lot more understanding, savvy, and knowledgeable of enterprise movements and those minority groups, which are protected. And I think we should be working on this now with second proposals on the table. Thank you.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay, we've got proposals.
Can I ask what the proposal is?
So the proposal is to write to the individuals who have written to the council to let them know that we support all of our denizens, as whatever we call them, who take pride in their culture, and to point them towards the Folk Festival Committee for any further comment.
That's,
Okay.
thank you. That's
Councillor.
That's second one.
Second last Tuesday.
Yeah, we've had a proposal,
Oh, sure.
sorry.
On the back.
Okay, all in favour? Anybody against? Any abstentions? Councillor Wheeler?
Thank you.
Okay, well, it's a discussion, thank you. Okay, close the meeting.
I think we're done.
Okay, so close the meeting at 8:25.
Can I